Good morning. This morning we were running. I like to start with a story, a little icebreaker. Good morning, you guys. We were running this morning and I was thinking about this and I was like, I'm going to say this on the show. I'm literally thinking about the thing that I'm going to say.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that I'm going to say it. Okay. But I was thinking today, I was like, will I ever get tired of saying good morning? And because I was listening to a different podcast and I was like, wow, her intro is kind of long and I don't really want to listen to the whole thing every time. And I was like, well, ours is kind of long too. And then I was thinking about, oh, right after they hear the intro, if you're listening to this on podcast, I'm like, oh, right after they hear the intro, we just start screaming. It's really aggressive good morning. And I was like, will I ever get tired of saying that? And I was like, probably not. Probably not. It's really fun. You should, you guys, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start saying it with us. Just in your house, your whole family. It's like a symphony. It's beautiful.
Do you want them to take a video and tag us?
Yeah, it gets you guys fired up. Let's try it together. Ready? Okay, let me explain how you have to do this. So, when you see the first deep breath, you know it's coming, right? Okay? So, this is how you get on point.
Okay,
Sarit and I are good on it, but, take some practice. So then you gotta feel the energy for when the good is gonna end. And you gotta watch the lips and go with the flow. Okay, ready? So let's try it. Good morning. That's amazing.
As Steph Duarte says, sparkle, sparkle. We hope that this added sparkle to your day. It is Wednesday. A lot of the topics that we put together are, topics of conversations that, we've heard you guys request. So due to popular demand, Wealth Wednesdays are back starting today.
We're mixing them though. Whatever Wednesdays and Wealth Wednesdays.
Yeah. But
wealth combos, money combos are coming back.
Yeah. For those of you guys who've been in our community since 2020, then you're probably familiar with our Wealth Wednesdays conversations. If you've joined our community in 2021, then you may not be. However, we've done those in the past, and due to your guys' requests, we listened to what you guys asked.
When we mentioned it coming back, people got excited, so we figured, great.
First, people were asking, what happened to Wealth Wednesdays?
True. True. We weren't sure if it was good until you guys tell us. So.
Because we track numbers, you guys. Numbers speak louder than words, and we saw that the numbers on Wednesdays were lower. So
let's talk about...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So let's talk about numbers.
Okay. So today, look, here's the thing when it comes to money. If you really want to be successful, you're going to have to unlearn most of what you've been taught your entire life. And you have to listen to advice from people that you trust. Okay, so we've talked about it yesterday, and we are licensed by Grant Cardone to teach his stuff. Anything that we tell you guys is, things that we've been taught by somebody who is extremely successful. Okay.
Can I say also not everything, because we also speak from our own experiences.
Yes, of
and
course.
There's a lot, we didn't even start with Grant. We started with Rob Kiyosaki. Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot of synchronicity between the two, but we want you guys to know, like, this is either coming from our own personal experience, information that we're licensed to teach and sell, and or other people that have proven a successful track record in the business, or with wealth in general. And I want to go over something really quick before we get into this, because money is a very taboo kind of topic, and you guys are a little bit more conditioned and you've been here for a while, so this isn't new to you that we're talking about money. But in the case anybody's new, or talking about money or getting more money or selling or creating wealth makes you uncomfortable, the first thing I would ask is, like, maybe reflect on why. Because, there's, like Sarit said, we learn all of our, like, money information. The default information that we have is from our parents or from our legal guardians or whoever raised us, because we spent the most time around them. Anything that we know comes from that initially. So what I want to ask, so that money is not an uncomfortable conversation for anybody to talk about, so that money is like talking about what you ate for lunch. It's like talking about, your drive to work, whatever. If you were to imagine your perfect life and the things that you would be able to do, who you would be spending time with, what you guys would be doing with that time, what experiences you would want to have, what kind of things you would be able to treat yourself to that would make you feel like you're excited to live life and you are relatively stress-free when it comes to your finances. And each person's life is going to look a little bit different. Some people want to travel a whole bunch. Traveling costs money. Some people want to have cool things. Some people want to be able to get massages so that their muscles feel good and recovered. Some people want to be able to buy good, like, organic, healthy food. We want to be able to, wear clothes that make us feel empowered or whatever. We want all of these things cost money. We want to be able to help other people. We want to be able to provide for our families. Maybe as your parents get older, you want to make sure that you're there and you financially can take care of their needs like they took care of yours. All of these things require money, commerce, exchange of goods, services. Money will never buy happiness. Money will magnify whatever you're currently feeling and living in. But money can buy things that make your life more fulfilling. And not having money also doesn't create or destroy happiness, right? So money can't buy it. Being poor can't buy happiness. Right? So either way, our goal is to help you guys live empowered and inspired and create for yourselves a life that makes you feel amazing to live. And a lot of that requires money. So, with that being said, let's talk about it.
Okay. That was a great intro. Yeah, you guys, we live in an economic world, whether we like it or not. And money is nothing but a vehicle. And we always talk about the 3 resources that you guys have. We hope that you're familiar with them now, but the resources are time, energy, and money. Okay? And some of you guys may disagree, but the most valuable resource that we have is time.
I don't think anybody here would disagree with that.
Some may.
I've
never heard that before.
It's the only non-renewable resource. You can never get back time. You can always make back more money. You spend it, you're going to get it from somewhere else. It's renewable. Energy is renewable. You go to bed at night, you recharge, you wake up, more energy. Time.
You eat food, you burn it, you eat more.
Yep. Time never goes backwards.
Yeah. And that's why it is the most valuable resource.
And money can buy
time. And money is nothing but a game. And in fact, life is nothing but a game. It is all just a game. And that is why education is so important. And when I say education, I don't mean like massive textbooks. With all the respect for those, I think that a lot of massive textbooks, don't really change people's lives. I mean, valuable information that will actually change your life. When I say change your life, I mean, will get you to your goals and dreams. That is what life is all about. My hope is that anybody who's watching this show is, for one, clear about what is the life that they are striving to live, and two, are doing the best that they can every single day in order to move one step closer towards that. Most people in life just never even take the time to consider what is their perfect life, because from a young age, they're just being brainwashed with what society has taught them. Go to school, get a good job, get married, have kids. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong. For some people, that could be their ideal life. However, there's a lot of complexities. And, the way that I see it is that this is your own life and nobody should tell you how to live but yourself. And once you know what it is that you want, you should do everything in your power in order to pursue it. Otherwise, that's a life full of regret. We only get to live one life.
Time never goes backwards.
Time never goes backwards. A day that's gone is a day that's never going to come back.
This moment right here, gone. Never see it again.
Yeah.
This one, gone.
So, in order to help you guys appreciate the resource called time, because if you want to, if you have big, audacious goals, then you want to master the game of time, because you want to leverage your time. When you know how to leverage your time, you can create more resources for yourself. That's what all the wealthy do. Okay? So, we're going to begin by identifying how much is your current time really worth. Because once you start understanding how much your time is worth, then you start acting differently. You start living with a sense of urgency. If you want to be really successful in life and you have big, audacious goals, then you have to live life.
You almost said girls.
Whatever. Big, audacious girls, that's cool.
You have big, audacious girls.
I hope that the ENS Army is an army of big, audacious girls. Hell yeah. Might as well. Look, the way I see it, as an immigrant, and maybe that's why I wanted to move here, is if you live life, you might as well go big. Go big or go bigger. But, this concept of time. Let's identify how much is our time really worth. So think about your 2020. How much money you ended up making in 2020? Go ahead and write that down. Now, if you're being, if you have a salary or wages, then right next to it, write down how much it is that you either get paid for the hour or, per month, depending on whatever your compensation plan is. Because the first thing that we're going to do today is we're actually going to blow your mind by showing you how much your current time is worth and what is it that you need to do and how much is your time supposed to be really worth if you are in pursuit to achieve those big audacious goals.
How do we choose what our time is worth?
Based on our goals. This is what we need to reverse engineer and work towards. So I saw somebody at the beginning of this conversation that said that they make $38,000 a year. That is what you're being told. That you make...
Those are the numbers that show up on a...
This is what you see, but there is something underneath it that we want you to understand. Okay? Because you guys, there's no such thing as work-life balance or anything like that. It's called life. Like everything in life is interconnected.
It's called harmonization.
Yeah. So let's say if you're being told that you're getting paid $14 an hour, but you're working only 8 hours, like then total how much you're making a year and see how much your current time is really worth. And then you're going to be mind blown.
I mean, worth and reality might not match up.
Right. And if you have big audacious goals, it never matches up. But you have to have a target. Because if you don't have that target, then guess what? You're not going to start acting as if your time is worth so much money and you're going to fucking waste time. Mm-hmm. And that is why so many people end up just living a mediocre life because they don't appreciate the value of time. Mm-hmm. Okay? So let's go back to the concept of $38,000 a year. Say if your employer pays you $38,000 a year, what it really comes down to is an hour of your time is worth $3.43. You know.
Did you divide that by like an 8 hour a day, 5 days a week, or what?
No, by how many hours are in a year? Because if this is what you make in a year, then per hour you're making $3.43.
Yeah, but okay, in how many hours worked per week? How many hours worked per year?
Let's say 40 hours.
40 hours a week?
Yeah.
Okay, 52 weeks. That's what that number came from?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
So what I'm trying to show you guys through that exercise is that what you're currently getting paid is a lot lower than what your actual time is worth if you start to understand that concept. And here's the thing, most people will be underpaid for most of their life. However, if you've played the game well and you've played hard enough, long enough, then at some point in your life, after a lot of years of work, hard work, then eventually you will be overpaid.
You'll be extremely
But if you
overpaid.
don't understand this concept, that there's no such thing as work-life balance, this is how much time my hour is worth. Let's say if you know that an hour of your time currently is worth $3.43 because you make $38,000 in a year, and you're like, but shit, based on my goals, an hour of my time is worth $2,000. Obviously, we're very far away from what we're currently earning and what is it that we want to earn. But do you think that you're going to start treating time with a bigger sense of urgency as if every second fucking matters? Because here's the thing. Every second does fucking matter. Money. But so many people don't appreciate the value of time that they end up not generating nearly as much as what their higher potential could. So you have to see it for what it is. Because what you see on paper is not the reality.
I'm making a backwards graph.
And here's something that we all have to understand too. You can say, yes, an hour of my time is worth $2,000. but you have to build up to that. And it requires a lot of work for a lot of time, making a lot of impact so that you can start climbing up that ladder. And here's the thing, anything is possible. But you have to understand that what you see versus what is really happening is completely different. Because when you start thinking differently, then now you have the opportunity to start acting differently. So now, what I want to talk about next, after Erin explains to you her graph, is, the meaning behind work. Because I feel like most people don't understand the meaning behind work either, and that's why they end up not just wasting their time, but wasting their life away.
Okay, I made a graph. Sarit isn't the only one to make amazing graphs. Okay, so we're going to talk about this concept of like how you're paid for your time. Mm-hmm. Now, first of all, I want to we're going to talk about this. Okay, so how does this go? I think this is, okay, so ignore this squiggly line. I don't really know what I did here. Oh man, I totally did it not the right way for you guys. Because I did everything backwards except for the lines. Poop! Oh no, it's good. It's good. Okay, great. So check this out. Money is the solid line. Work is the dotted line. And this is time. Okay? So your work, lots of 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 work. Maybe I'm like now 60 or something. This is my plan for my life. I'm never going to stop working hard because I think I'll just get bored as shit and then like depressed because I have nothing to do. So I'll probably always be working, always have something to do. But body gets tired. I'm definitely going to take a little bit less stress load for my own personal health. But I'll keep working, right? So I'll level off somewhere down here. Maybe it will decrease a little bit more as I go. But the amount of money I get paid for a really long time is almost nothing compared to what I know I'm capable of. So what happens then, if you do it right, if you're willing to work hard and invest in yourself and in your education to be able to work also smart. This isn't like a work smarter, not harder. If you want to create wealth and you really want to be successful, you have to work hard and smart. All right? So what happens is you're trading your time for money. Trading your time for money, trading your time for money, trading your time for money, trading your time for money. At some point, the idea will be for you to make investments. And some of those investments they all start slow. They start working for you, right? But you've created momentum in whatever it is that you're doing. You could be an employee, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be a solopreneur, you could be a business owner, you could be whatever. But eventually, you're going to get to a point where you have a lot of momentum. And then you're going to then be overpaid, paid more than the amount that you work. But you've also got money making money for you. Money becomes an employee. If you have good quality investments, money becomes an employee of yours, and you don't have to pay it anything to make you more money. So then at that point, now you're making money that you don't have to do as much work for, and you become overpaid. I wouldn't even call it overpaid though. I would say you earned that shit.
Yeah.
At least this is for me. This is me speaking from my own experience. This is my plan. I know and I'm committed to having to work really hard for a really long time, and things are not going to be balanced, and I'm okay with that. I'm grateful and blessed that what we do, we get to do together, because this is a huge component. And if she were not on the same page, and if I were not on the same page, this would be extremely difficult. The importance of getting a significant other on the same page as you. Whether or not they want to do exactly what you're doing doesn't matter, but that they're on the same page and respectful and in alignment with and supportive of does matter. So here's my graph. And one thing that Sarit and I do too, like kind of going back to the beginning of this that I said, like, I want all of you guys to go online and I want you to look at like what a dream home would be for you. Like what a dream home would be. Or if you like to travel, what kind of places would you want to travel to? Look at how much those things cost. What's a plane ticket for me to go to Thailand or to Australia or to Europe or to, what's a plane ticket cost? Okay, what's the cost of the place I'm going to be staying in? How long do I want to stay there? How much am I going to spend on food? What kind of experiences do I want to have while I'm there? How much do all these things cost? And allow yourself to dream, because that is where all of this starts. That is where all of this starts, and that is where some fire comes from. Motivation. Now, I want to ask you an important question. And this is going back to what I said in the beginning of like money being a taboo topic. When you look at all of those things and you dream and you imagine as if that is your life, this is an important question. If the answer is yes, you gotta learn to love money and talking about it. If the answer is no, then do whatever you want. But does that make you feel amazing? Like as if this is my life. Money buys a better quality of life. And I don't think anybody can argue with me on that. So I want you to dream. I want you to dream. I want you to go online today and I want you to look at whatever the house is. If it's, buy it with a mountain view or an ocean view or in the middle of fucking nowhere with cows and horses and llamas and alpacas and donkeys and rattlesnakes and whatever your jam is. Wheelbarrows. If it's on a wine vineyard, is that what it's called?
Vineyard.
If it's on a vineyard.
Yeah, here's where it starts. And from there, from all the things that you want, what you have to do next is like, okay, how much is everything going to cost per year? And then divide that by 365 days, 24 hours a day. How much should you be making per hour?
If you're working 24 hours a day. The goal is to be making money 24 hours a day.
Well, when you get into the passive income game, and that is the only way you're going to ever tap into that, that's how you really leverage time. You get paid when you're sleeping. So you have to play the game right, and you have to play it smarter.
You know what? I want to tell you guys, we just enrolled in a we like to learn who new people are, who are, influential and doing great things in the space that they're in. And, many of you are familiar with the fact that Sarit and I are a part of a network marketing company called X Endurance. It's a supplement company that we believe in and aligns with our values and our mission and our goals. And it's not everybody's cup of tea, so that's totally fine. If you want to ignore this, you can. But it is a phenomenal way, if you have good integrity and the company that you're working within has good integrity and teaches good practices and has great core values, to make residual income so that in your later years, you have already put in the work. You've already put in the work. So what did we register for? We signed up for, it's a 3-day workshop or kind of like an interactive.
Yeah, I think it's Powerful Women in Network Marketing.
Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing. and it's virtual, and we're going to drop the link. We'll drop the link for you guys. If this is something that you have interest in, fantastic. If you don't, fantastic, right? Not everybody's cup of tea, fine. But it is an opportunity for those who want an opportunity to have a business where you don't have to pay employees. You don't have a lot of overhead. You have the opportunity to make a good amount of money, work really hard for a little while. I would say, a good while, but a little while in comparison to what an entire life looks like. And create some money that is guaranteed to come to you every month. So that financial stress level can go down. So we'll post the link. I'll send an email out for it. If you guys want to join it, great. We're going to be there, but I just thought of that because that's an opportunity for you guys. We'll put it on the Erin and Sarit Team XND Facebook group as well. That was like a side note for you guys. So
yeah, but the next point is once you figure out like how much your time is worth on an hourly basis versus what you're getting paid right now. Because I think we can all agree that what we are all currently getting paid right now is way too little. Okay? And that's fine. That's what happens for most people. However, most people get sucked in it, and then because they haven't taken the time to play the game of life, then they run out of time, and their health is miserable, and their relationship is shitty, and it's almost like you're at a bottleneck with life. That's why people die young.
Ooh, so, Grant said something really powerful in the boot camp that we were just at.
What about the burnout?
He said, no, it was most people die before their body expires.
Yes.
And I was like, ooh. Yes. Ooh. Like we've all heard, maybe not all of us, but I know I've heard several times like something about like you can be living but not alive. Mm-hmm. Right? But that's kind of that same concept of like most people die before their bodies actually expire. Mm-hmm. And that was like for me.
Yeah. So, when it comes to the game of leveraging your time, let's talk about work a little bit, because there's no way in hell you're going to ever get to the side of freedom if you're not working hard enough for a long enough time period. Okay? And
yeah, anybody online who tells you, I make a lot of money without doing anything.
Yeah, like get rich in 90 days, like
liar. And chances are anybody who is in that position worked their asses off for several years before they got to that point. So
yeah,
I want to throw that out there to prepare you. It takes work. So
it takes work and it takes time.
You said
but when it comes to your work, don't work just to get a paycheck. Work to learn. Amen. And work to connect.
Amen. You work at a job right now and there's people there. Learn about those people. Everybody has a superpower. You have a superpower. And you don't learn about anybody else's superpower until you engage in conversation with them. And that's so good. That's so good. Work to learn skills. You're getting paid to be educated on how to do the things that you do in your job. That's amazing. And make connections. That's so good.
Let me tell you something, and I don't know how that, I understood that before I was ever even taught about money, because I really started studying money about 1.5 years ago. Once I was introduced to the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, after, one of a very close friend of mine had made a comment. She's like, we started our business 3 years ago and we're like 2 years and 1.5 years into it. And she's like, Sarit, do you notice how hard you work and nothing, you have nothing to show for it? And that made me so mad. And I'm like,
careful what you say to Sarit.
And I was like, I always knew that we're doing the right thing. But like, you guys, like, building a mountain from zero takes a lot of fucking time and a lot of fucking effort. But that puts so much fire under my ass. I'm like, how the heck do I get filthy rich?
Those comments.
And I started reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was my first financial book. By the way, if you haven't read it, highly recommend that you do. It is in our
list
announcements. Yeah, it's on our book list. So you can start understanding how money works.
It's eye-opening.
But you know, when I started my career actually getting paid for it, because the first 5 years I was actually not allowed to be paid, which is a blessing in disguise, because it proved to me what I'm passionate about and to follow my passion. Because most people just go chasing money without a purpose. We have to chase money, but chase money as a byproduct of making a purpose. Most people just chase money because they didn't learn the game, and then they end up not living a fulfilled life, and it spills over to other areas of their life, and then they're 50 and they're miserable and they're overweight and they've divorced 2 times. And I'm not saying that this is that you've done anything wrong whatsoever, because it could be some of the most valuable lessons. But what I've learned at a very young age is I worked for a company simply because I wanted to put myself in the room where important people go to and where I could learn a very important skill. And there is no way in hell that we would have gained the tools necessary in order to help people the way that we do nowadays had it not been for those skills. And I had to commute for 2 hours each way. There were multiple days where I actually had to sleep at work. I would bring a massive duffel bag with all of my meal prep and with all of my clothes. And I remember there were some days where I slept in the spa on literally a massage bed, until one day I was told you can't sleep there. So then I had to sleep with the cockroaches, because I was like, you know what? Like, I am investing my time, and I would literally make $900 a month. And I would pay out $1,400 just for commute. It was insane, you guys. But, I saw it. Like,
you were getting a discount on your education.
Yes. I went into it not for the money, but for the opportunity. Mm-hmm. So when you make a decision about work or about anything, think about the opportunity, not the money.
Perspective.
Because everything that you do right now, like time, should be a vehicle to get you closer to the big opportunity. I don't see how much I'm making right now in my paycheck, as where I'll be. It's what do I need to do in order to continue building that opportunity? Mm-hmm. So my opportunity is $1 billion business, not a $535 paycheck. By the way, you guys, we're telling you the truth. Like, we're so like raw and honest with you guys. But, the reason why we want to share with you these things is because we know where we're going. We know where we're going. We know that we're in the right vehicle, and, like, where life is going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and, the same thing goes for all of our team members too. Like, what we're getting paid now is not what we're going to be getting paid 10 years from now. And it is all an investment. So because time only moves in one direction, you should be thinking about, okay, is how I'm spending this minute an investment of my time or a waste of my time? And once you start understanding that, then it impacts anything else that you do in your life, because you now start realizing that if you've been having conversations with someone who just pisses you off, drains you, does not add any value, you're like, I'm literally fucking wasting money because it takes me away from the opportunity. Or if you are going to work every day and everybody around you is just like draining and you hate what you do, you're now starting to realize that you're wasting time.
It's costing you.
It's costing you, exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that we do in life, whether we like it or not, it has a price tag.
You're paying to be exhausted and stressed.
Yeah.
When you are in those environments. And to add to that too, a different example or scenario is, I don't have time to fill in the blank. Usually, when you say you don't have time for something, it's something that you know will be valuable for you to do. Otherwise, you wouldn't say you don't have time for it. No, I don't have time to, be lazy. Like, nobody ever says that. I don't have time to sit on the couch and watch Netflix and not do anything. Because usually, when you say, I don't have time for something, it is something that you know would be productive for you. And the full excuse, like, I don't have time, is a full excuse. There's no question about it. It is a full excuse. Mm-hmm. To make it not an excuse, but justify time being an issue, say, with the things I'm committed to, I haven't prioritized that high enough. That's really what you should be saying, which is fine. You're the only one who gets to choose your priorities. Doesn't make you a good person or a bad person or whatever. Just you get to choose how you live your life, and nobody gets to tell you how to do that. Yeah. Okay? So now, if you say, I didn't have time to do something, really what you're saying is, that shit's not high enough on my priority list for me to have made time to do it. If you break your leg, guess what? I'm prioritizing that shit whether I think I have time or not, because everything else stops and I'm going to the emergency room because I broke my leg and my bone is sticking out. That shit, I'm prioritizing. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's a matter of prioritization. Now, what do you want to prioritize? If you want to create financial freedom, if you want to create some kind of wealth, whether for yourself or generational or whatever it is, you have to prioritize the grind. There's no other way around it. Where was I going with this? Time being an excuse. Okay, think about this. This is where I was going with this. I want you to inventory what you're doing. This is a totally different topic now. This is on the time management. But I want you to inventory what you're doing. And I want you to consider, because a lot of people are walking through life kind of mindlessly, not intentionally aware of what they're doing, why they're doing it. And so I want you to take an inventory. And any time that you are mindlessly doing something that is not benefiting you, that is not being utilized to help you move forward in life, whether that's, personal growth and development, education, trading your time for money, maybe, creating connections, whatever it is. If you're just chilling on the couch watching Game of Thrones or, scrolling and then you catch yourself an hour later on social media, not consuming anything that's valuably, is that a word? Helping you? It is now.
Adding value to you. Yeah. Then that is a waste of your time and that is costing you money.
Yep.
That is costing you money. Mm-hmm. So then when you say I don't have enough money, inventory your time. Because time is money.
Yep.
What are you doing with your time? That is money. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a job, you could be looking for a job. You could be applying for a job. You could be going out. Don't just, if you don't have a job and you want a job, don't just fill out applications online. Go into places and find people and meet people and say, I'm interested in this. Here's the value I can bring to you. With commitment comes creativity, and you will find the way to get what you are working for.
With commitment comes creativity. Commit. Inventory your time. If you're wasting it, it's costing you money. If you watched Friends episodes from 13 years ago and you had a marathon, you just paid however much you believe you're worth to watch. Can you open this thing on the calculator?
Yeah. What do you need?
I need to know what's an hour. Is an episode of Friends an hour long?
Let's say.
Okay, it's an hour and you do a marathon. Let's say you watch, 10 hours. Hard math. Okay, do 10 times.
Whatever your potential is.
10 times, let's say you're like, I want to make $50 an hour.
That's $500.
$500 you just paid.
You wasted $500.
You just paid $500 you don't have to watch a marathon of Friends.
Crystal said 24 minutes long.
It's legit, like, it's just perspective. And I understand this isn't everybody's scenario, but we all waste time somehow. We're all paying to do some nonsense. Some of us pay not very much, and some of us pay a lot. So take an inventory. How much are you paying to do nothing with your time?
Pay the price today so that you can pay any price tomorrow.
So good.
Gotta pay the price. And right now the price is going to be, time and energy. And money too, because you gotta invest in yourself in order to learn the tools and skills necessary. However, let's say if you, have a job that's in alignment with your passion, that's also helping you to pay for whatever education you need, then now you're fucking you're winning.
Yeah, and always personal growth and development. Look, you can work for a company and you can dictate your pay. How? If you're like, I don't know, I only get paid this much per hour. That's because right now, they only see that you're worth your job, your duties, your responsibilities, the value you bring is only worth that much. If you educate yourself, if you come in with more value to that company and you show them, here's how I can make you more money, here's how I can help you achieve the mission of the company, here's how I can, and you start inserting yourself and adding more value and coming with good ideas and helping them progress, you're going to be worth more to them. And at that point, you can ask for more fairly. But you have to take responsibility for the value that you're bringing. Nobody's going to pay you what they don't think you're worth. And it's not you as an individual. It's whatever value you bring. Nobody's going to pay you if you're not bringing that amount of value. If you were to quit wherever you work right now, if you were to quit, would the company care or would they replace you? That's a tough question to answer. Because there's a lot of people who are very replaceable. Unfortunately, and it's hard to get on team Erin and Sarit because we want people who are going to show up as irreplaceable people with so much value that if they were to go, we'd be like, fuck. That is what you need to become to whatever company you're working for. Bring that value and you will be worth more to them. Kim said everyone is replaceable. True, but some people will lower the value of a company if they were to leave it. If you were to leave your company, would the value of the company decrease? Maybe that's a better question to ask. If you leave the company and they know that the value of that company would decrease because you're gone, you're doing good. But if it wouldn't matter to them, now you get to, that's what I mean by that.
So good. So good.
Everybody's replaceable, but some people are extremely difficult to replace because they are so valuable. Because what they bring, their skill sets, what they've learned, their hustle, the, personality, the attitude, the open-mindedness, or the discipline, or the accountability, or the ownership that person takes, all increases that person's value, and they will be more difficult to replace. So that's what I mean.
Yeah, and to go back to what you're saying, like, yeah, in a business, everybody's gonna have to be replaced. Like, if, let's say, the relationship ends for some reason,
or even
at
in a
some
promotion
point or another,
or even in a promotion.
Yeah. However, some shoes are really hard to fill. Like when we left Equinox,
they got fucked
for like over a year. It was really hard to fill our shoes. And I'm not saying it to brag, but like, every day.
They probably lost like
20
over 6 figures of revenue every month because we left.
Yeah. However, like, they still moved forward because that's a great business. We were too little to make an impact on them, but like, it took for them a while in order to fill the shoes of.
Well, now they're closed and they haven't been open.
Right.
But that's a different story.
But the inspiration here is every day when you show up all the way and follow through all the way, add so much value so that you will make a statement through your actions that filling your shoes will be very, very difficult.
One way that you can immediately add value to where your workplace or wherever you're at, one way you can immediately add value is show up with a good attitude. Everybody loves to be around somebody who has a good attitude. And it's not possible at all times of the day, every day. But the ability to control your state is a huge skill.
Yeah.
And if you can show up with a good attitude, and then imagine yourself leaving, people wouldn't have that, like, that attitude, that energy, that inspiration, that, contagious kind of energy, then people are not going to be as excited to be there because you're gone. And even if somebody gets a promotion, let's say somebody's in one role, let's say you're in one role, you get a promotion, you've been replaced now, still in this position. So it doesn't mean like being replaced means that you suck and you're bad. But let's say, you go from marketing officer to like, or you go from like a buy, what do they call it when people like buy ads or whatever, media buyer or something, to like the CMO, the chief marketing officer. Well, somebody like has to replace you from where that position was. So everybody's replaceable. Everybody needs to be replaced at some point. We're gonna need to be replaced at some point.
Yep.
So do what you can to bring more value and show whoever is writing the checks that you are worth more. Mm-hmm. But prove it to them, because people need to see that that's the truth. And what it does is builds your confidence so that if you were to say, hey, look, like, I need to be paid X amount and this is what I'm requesting, and you go in for that raise or whatever it is, and you can have the confidence to say that, you know, if we can't come to some kind of agreement on this because it's what I need, then, you know, I may seek other opportunities. It can't be a bluff. You have to know and have the confidence, I'm worth this, and I know somebody else is going to take me for this much somewhere. Like, that is priceless. Mm-hmm. And you can build that. Anybody can build that. Learn more, be more valuable, have a good attitude, go the extra mile, give more than you ask. Because when you ask, it's the law of reciprocity. When you give, somebody wants to give back.
Give, give, give.
Okay, I'm done. This has been a long episode.
So takeaways.
So many.
It all starts with a dream. If you're not taking the time to dream, then you're leaving so much money out on the table. Because you'll never know how much your time is really worth. What your time is worth versus how much you're getting paid should be way different if you've got big, audacious goals.
And sometimes when you go into somewhere new, you're not going to be paid what you're worth.
Absolutely not. Don't ever expect that at the beginning.
You have to prove what you're worth.
Yeah.
And if you do that, and if you're consistent, and if you keep showing up, as long as you are, you know, working with people that are like-minded and that you respect, then they will pay you what you're worth. Mm-hmm. They will pay you more. I don't know. I want to pay our people more than what they even think they're worth eventually. I want everybody to be overpaid who works for Erin and Sarit. I want everybody to be overpaid. But when you're in your company or your whatever, like, nobody's just going to be like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm going to pay you $50 an hour, when they don't know who you are, what you're capable of, what you have to bring to the table, how you show up, what your attitude is, how far you're willing to go for a customer or a client or a project. You have to prove, you have to put in the work to get paid more than you're worth. Okay. Now I'm done.
So figure out how much your time is really worth. Okay? Because guaranteed you're being underpaid right now. But gain some clarity, real clarity. And then the next thing is work in a place that will help you to build the tools and skills necessary in order for you to create that life for yourself. Mm-hmm. And
be willing to invest in those tools.
Absolutely. And then work in a vehicle that makes you feel good. Makes you feel good physically, makes you feel good mentally, makes you feel good emotionally. Mm-hmm. I hear so many people complain about where they work for years. I'm like, dude, you're fucking wasting your time. I get it, you're getting a paycheck, but start replacing it. Because what it's costing you is your potential. And how much is your potential worth? You know, but people see the number in front of them, they don't see the unseen. And once you guys start, you know, like understanding that is how the game of life works, that what is happening now is not what's going to happen 10 years from now or 20 years from now, you'll do everything that you can to build towards that. To make sure that you're aging like wine. That 10 years from now, your life is exponentially better than now. The 20 years from now, your life is exponentially better than what it is 10 years from now. However, because people don't take the time to educate themselves, to put themselves in the right rooms where conversations like these happen, what ends up happening is that every decade they end up, you know, getting fatter, poorer, more miserable, with less time on their hands.
You said, what happens every time, every decade? I had a hard time following that sentence, but I speak Sarit language, so it's okay.
I hope you guys got it.
I think so.
Well, hey, we hope that this added value to you. Honestly, if you guys really apply what we've talked about today, today's conversation is worth millions of dollars, depending on how big and audacious your goals and dreams are.
Depending on how committed and willing you are to work for it.
Yeah.
So, if you found value, like we always ask, guys, we do this for free. And there are opportunities for us to charge for this. People would pay to listen to these conversations, but we refuse to charge for them. So please, the only price we could ask you to pay is to share it. And encourage and inspire other people to come to listen who could benefit from these conversations. And we're going to find the link to the thing that we signed up for anybody who does want to look into an opportunity to learn how to, create some kind of residual income. And we are affiliated with X Endurance, that is a network marketing or a multi-level marketing. I'm going to throw it out there with no shame, and I'm going to plug it, company. And if you want to work with people who are doing well in that industry, then you can reach out, send me an email, or Stacy, if you can drop my email at the bottom of today's email or something, just so we can open a conversation. We want to help you guys in any way that we can. This isn't going to be everybody's vehicle, and not everybody, has what it takes, honestly, to be successful in that kind of business. But if you are interested, Stacy, thank you so much. She's like, let me just jam it in the chat. Erin at erinandsarit.com. It's very complicated. Then, yeah, just reach out. Let's just talk about it. What are your goals? Will this work for you? If not, great. I'm not here to push it on anybody, but it is a great opportunity for those who are willing to work and learn and get outside their comfort zone and be consistent and work for a while doing it, so that you can create something amazing for yourself later on. So we'll make sure that those are emailed and posted or whatever somewhere. So that's
tomorrow is Relationship Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. You guys, we hope that today's episode added a lot of value to you. We're extremely grateful for you investing your time by spending it with us this morning. Once again, if you found this valuable, please just pay it forward. That's all that we ask, because we are on a mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours. You guys, we hope that you have a happy Winner's Day, and we will see you tomorrow on Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
Bye, guys.